All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be diving deep into something I think we could all use a little more of these days.
Ooh, what's that?
Well, it's resilience, like
Yes.
that inner strength, that stuff that gets us through the tough times,
Mm.
you know, when things get hard,
Yes,
not
absolutely.
bouncing back from setbacks and all that.
Right.
So, to really get into this, we've got some cool excerpts from this text on mental toughness.
Oh, interesting.
And I think it'll be really interesting to see, like, what does it actually mean to be resilient?
Right.
And then, like, the real question, how do we build that strength?
Yeah, how do we get more of that?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm ready to jump in.
Yeah, let's do it.
What have you found so far?
Well, right off the bat, this source kind of throws a curveball. It says that resilience, it's not about dodging those difficult situations.
Mhm.
It's not about avoiding struggle. It's about, going right through it.
Oh, wow. So it's not about just like making everything easy. It's about being ready for the hard stuff.
Exactly. That's what they're saying. It's like
Uh,
using those tough experiences to make us stronger.
okay, so it's like almost like a counterintuitive thing, right? Like facing hardship actually can make us stronger.
Yeah, it's kind of a paradox.
So how does the source how does it explain that? How does it back that idea up?
They use this really interesting analogy, actually. They call it cognitive reframing.
Cognitive reframing. Okay.
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
Feel like I have, but maybe you could refresh my memory and the listener's memory too.
Sure, yeah. So imagine you have like a negative thought, it's just like, stuck in your head.
Yeah, yeah.
With cognitive reframing, you basically choose to look at that thought differently. Like you're actively trying to reframe it.
So instead of like, oh man, this is terrible, you kind of flip it around and go, well, maybe this is an opportunity for something.
Exactly. You're looking for the positive side. Or, at least a more productive way to think about it.
Okay, I see. Like maybe instead of saying, I can't believe this happened, you say, okay, this is happening. What can I learn from it?
Exactly. Exactly. And the text says that doing this, like this whole process of reframing your thoughts, it's like a workout for your brain.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's like you're building up your mental muscles. So then when you hit those tough situations, you're better prepared.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not about ignoring the negative. It's about kind of shifting our perspective on it.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
like that. It makes sense.
Yeah. So they also talk about this idea of mental toughness being connected to control.
Okay. Control. What do they mean by control?
Yeah, so it's like having this ability to regulate your thoughts and your emotions, but also your actions, especially when you're under pressure.
So like if you're facing a crazy deadline at work,
Mm.
you don't just like totally freak out.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of panicking, you take a deep breath and then you focus on what you can actually control, like how much effort you're putting in
Hmm.
or like your approach to the problem.
Right, right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do have a question about this whole control thing, because isn't there a downside to maybe focusing too much on controlling everything? Like, what about when things really are just out of our control?
Yeah, that's a really good point, and the source does touch on that. It says that this whole control thing isn't about like dominating every single situation.
Okay.
It's more about recognizing what actually is within our control, like
Yeah.
our attitude or our reactions, and then letting go of the stuff that we can't change.
So it's about picking your battles, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Focusing on what you can influence.
Okay, I see. So then how do we actually start doing this? Like, how do we build that mental toughness? It all sounds great, but it also sounds kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you become mentally tough overnight.
Right, right.
But the good news is it's all about those small, consistent actions that you take.
Okay.
Like every time we face a challenge, instead of avoiding it, it's like we're doing a mental push-up.
I like that. It's a mental workout.
Exactly. We're strengthening our resilience muscle.
Okay, so it's not about being like superhuman. It's about those small efforts like that.
Yeah, it's about building it up over time.
Does the source like give any specific examples of how to do that?
Yeah, actually, they talk about mindfulness.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like even taking just a few minutes every day to like focus on your breath or just noticing your thoughts but without judging them.
Right.
And that can actually like train your mind to be more aware and more resilient.
So it's literally working out your mental muscle.
Exactly.
Awesome. What else? What else does the source say?
Well, they talk about the power of having, a positive mindset.
Right, right, yeah.
They say that our thoughts really do shape our reality.
Hmm. Okay.
So if we can like train ourselves to focus on the positive, even when things are hard, then we're actually rewiring our brains.
That's powerful stuff.
Right. And it makes us more optimistic and resilient.
Yeah, it's like that saying, where attention goes, energy flows.
Exactly.
It's so easy to get stuck in that negativity, but it sounds like the source is saying that we have a choice.
Absolutely. The source is very clear about that. Nobody can control our thoughts but us.
I love that.
And it's so empowering. It's not about pretending everything's perfect. It's about acknowledging the negative stuff, but then choosing to focus on like what we can learn from it
Yeah.
and how we can grow.
It's about turning those challenges into opportunity.
Exactly, yeah.
So it sounds like we're talking about reframing and mindfulness and like really working on having a positive mindset.
Yeah, those are some of the key takeaways.
It sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like a lot of work. But in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, does the source acknowledge that this is like a long-term kind of thing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They make it very clear that resilience isn't some destination that you just arrive at.
Right.
They literally say resilience is a process, not a destination.
Okay. So it's about the journey.
Yeah, it's this ongoing journey of learning about yourself and growing.
That takes the pressure off a little bit. Like, you don't have to be perfectly resilient all the time.
Exactly. It's about progress, not perfection.
Love it. Okay, so then what's a tiny step that our listeners could take today, right now, to start building their resilience?
Ooh, I love that question. Let's see. The source recommends that you pick one little challenge that you're facing right now
Okay.
and try to reframe it in a more positive way. Like ask yourself, how can I see this as an opportunity for growth?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because there's always something to be learned,
Always.
even in the tough stuff.
Exactly.
All right, well, that is a great place to leave it. And for everyone listening, remember, it's those tiny, consistent efforts that really make the difference. You got this.
You do.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Of course, it was fun.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.